Hey everyone, Alexander Flores here, and welcome to the third episode of Creating a Software Company. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the current planned features I have, just a basic description of everything, and then also some planned features I have for launching them after the release of the company. So some things might be a little complicated, they might require a lot of users, or it doesn't make sense to launch them right at the start. Things like that we push towards later on. Okay, so this top list right here, this is the initial launch. These are the different features. These might change based off of how the development goes. Some things might move over here, some things over here might move up here. We might add some features. If you guys have any ideas after listening to all these, leave them down below in the comments, and I might be interested in adding them to the software. Okay, so under initial launch, obviously you can create your own account and you can manage that account. That entails things like resetting your password, changing your email, two-factor authentication, things like that. Then the second thing we have is connecting social profiles, so you can link your Instagram account, which is kind of how we have API access to understand who your account is, what type of niche you're in, and a lot of other data on your account to help provide you with the best service we can to help you grow. It says Instagram only at first, because in the future, if Instagram does go well, then I might be adding YouTube and Twitch and providing features and tools to help influencers on those platforms grow as well. That's the end goal. It's just that Instagram is the first vehicle we're using to provide that the service and the solution. So then we have social networking. So this is not at all going to be like its own social media platform or anything like that. This just means that we're going to be able to view each other's profiles, which will have maybe some links to their actual social media accounts, maybe some websites, some more information about them, and then also you'll be able to private message them. So just be able to communicate with other people on here, because the whole goal, one of the goals of this is to help influencers grow, and one of the ways to do that is to connect and collaborate with other influencers. So being able to message and reach out with other influencers is one thing I definitely need to include. Historical analytical data. So basically whenever you connect your Instagram, we'll start logging information about your account. When you post, your follower counts, and you'll be able to see some data on your account that will be displayed with graphs. You can actually publish that data if you're looking to do brand deals, which there's a feature down below that I'll explain more on. But if you want to have people reach out to you and work with you while doing a promotion or running a campaign for them, things like that, you can actually make a lot of that information public. I might make it so some information you can still hide and all that stuff. It depends on what the user wants. I want to give the user as much control as possible so they feel comfortable and like this tool is helping them. So one of the features that we could implement through all that data is Instagram Page Rater, which I kind of just briefly mentioned. Basically, because of Instagram's API limitations that recently happened, that those might be changed by the time you're watching this video. I'm not sure what the future holds, but right now, most of Instagram's API is restricted. They kind of just basically stopped a lot of the ability to kind of reach out and gather data because of a lot of the data problems they're having at Facebook. So an Instagram Page Rater isn't going to be something where you can just like enter someone else's username and gather information on them like a Social Blade type app. This will be something where you can kind of connect your own Instagram account and understand your engagement rate percentage, things like that. And so like this says right here, these are kind of both connected together, the same thing. It's just two different ways of wording it. You can actually publish that information so other people can look you up. It might be able to display it on your public profile, which I mentioned here. So those are some features I have in mind. Collaboration groups is basically just a renamed engagement group feature, because I'm not sure that Instagram is going to allow engagement groups for too much longer. I know it's probably difficult for them to actually stop that without completely changing their algorithm, but I just feel like I want to differentiate myself from that because it kind of is starting to have a negative context with it in some influencers' eyes. But a collaboration group is essentially just a private message group where you can invite certain people, you can allow certain people to be in there. There's going to be a lot of different settings you have, so anyone can create a group, anyone can join a group if they're permitted to. So you can have some public groups where anyone could join. You can have a group where you're limited to just 10 people. You can make it so to join you have to be in the same niche, which is understood by our software of what niche you're in. You can also tell us, because at the start we're not going to be the best at judging that. You can make it so if someone is posting their content in there to get engaged with, but they're not actually providing value back to the group, that they automatically get kicked if they're not actually providing value in the group for 10 days or 30 days or whatever you want. And it's just like a lot of the ways that you could think about an Instagram DM group being unorganized, I want to fix that. because I've been in Instagram DM groups before, and they're really unorganized, sometimes chaotic. You're not really sure what's going on. You're just a bunch of people in a little messenger on your phone. And so I'm wanting a more organized way to do that. The group owners can assign a certain number of admins that have certain access to approve certain applicants if you do have it as a application to join the group. And there's a lot of features, but I would still want it to be simple and to the point and still useful for actually providing engagement to each other. So this is going to be probably one of the main features that I'm wanting to optimize as best as possible. So the next feature is multiple bio links. So with Instagram, you can't link in your posts, you can only have one link in your bio. And so there are some solutions out there that whenever you click on that link in your bio, it provides a simple mobile-friendly like landing page kind of thing where there's multiple other links in there that you can then click on, that the account owner can customize. So that's the basic feature here. I did look at some of the existing solutions and they do a good job of providing that. However, there were some features I thought of that they didn't have, and that's why I'm wanting to include it into this right here. The next thing is a simple hashtag generator, pretty self-explanatory. You enter a hashtag like travel and it'll go and search the best performing travel posts at the time, and it'll understand the other hashtags that all of them are using in common, and it'll tell you those. So that's the goal right here, is just a simple free hashtag generator. Content library. So if you're creating an account that reposts other people's content and then gives them credit, then this might be something that's mostly useful for you. So let's say that you're scrolling through Instagram and you're trying to save a bunch of content to your phone that you're going to repost over the next week or the next month or whatever it may be. With this, you'll be able to save it to our servers and not clutter up your phone, because sometimes if you're saving a bunch of videos, that could become annoying. And then also, you can add little notes to each one, so you can always remember who the content came from, so you always can give proper credit. So you can add little customized notes, and so later on, whenever you're posting 2 weeks after that, you don't forget who the content creator was. You can still make sure you provide the correct credit, and so everyone's still happy with you. So that's one thing. We can also make it so whenever you post on Instagram, that automatically is added to the content library. So if you like to reuse the same content, if your type of content is something you can do that with, then that's something that's can help you as well. So you can upload your own content manually. So it's basically just like a little Dropbox type thing for your own content that can be helpful. Once we add a mobile app, then this is something that you can like upload photos to and then reuse them on your mobile app, or you can copy links on the Instagram app on your phone and then automatically download it to the content library, different things like that. Okay, so the next feature is giveaways. Now, like I said earlier, Instagram has some API restrictions right now as of recording this video. So what we have to do with giveaways is slightly limited to what I would like to do, but pretty self-explanatory. You can set it up so you post and then the giveaway will understand that that's a giveaway because you'll tell it. And you'll say that the requirements to enter the giveaway, like in the dashboard, you'll specify you have to reply to the post, that's all. So in your photo or in your caption or something, you can say, reply to this post to be entered. And then our app will understand that and it'll take everyone's Instagram IDs who replied and it'll put them into a pool. And then you can select a random winner or winners whenever you want. And then other ways that you can enter is replying with a specific message. So like, let's say, this is a bad example, but it'll help you understand the feature. Let's say you have a math problem that you have to solve to enter the giveaway, and people reply with the answer, and then they'll be entered in the giveaway. You can also say tag X amount of friends, like tag 3 friends, tag 1 friend, tag 5 friends, whatever you want to do there. And so then you can randomly select a winner, and you can announce it manually however you want. So these are the features I plan on launching currently. This might change. And then these features here are something I'm wanting to add in the future. So the influencer marketplace is kind of like Fiverr, but just for shoutouts. So you can list your page and then people can contact you to do business with you. But this is something that doesn't really make too much sense to launch at the start, because if no one's there and then we're slowly getting users, then no one's going to really be interested in joining a marketplace where no one's there. So it makes the most sense to launch this later on, whenever there could be like a bunch of people joining it right as we launch it. So once we already have a good number of users, then we'll be launching this service. Let me change this here. Something similar would be a marketplace to buy and sell social media accounts. So a lot of people grow Instagram accounts and then sell them. and then a lot of people buy Instagram accounts and transform them into their own brand, hopefully of a related niche. And so that's a good way to make some money. And so we're wanting to create a marketplace for that. But the same concept as the influencer marketplace, we want to make sure we instantly have people listing and buying social media accounts right when we launch that feature. And so it's not just a ghost town for months and no one cares to join because no one's there. Then we have a Chrome extension that allows you to use Instagram on the desktop. I personally prefer to use social media on the desktop instead of my phone. I feel like some others might feel the same way. So this is something that we'll be adding later on because it's not super important right now. These two things, like I've said a few times, Instagram has some limited API functionality right now. So we need to get approved, or actually I think invited, to actually programmatically post content or schedule content. So I need to think of a workaround for that, or just the weights. I want to be very careful with a workaround because I don't want to upset Instagram in any way. I want this to be a long-term company and not something that's a quick money grab that gets shut down in a few months. So then also we have expiring content, which will be slightly useful to some. So whenever an Instagram shutout happens, it's typically like a 12-hour or 48-hour or something like that, or 24 hours. And so sometimes if, let's say it's 12 hours long and you post in the middle of the day, if you actually want to only post for 12 hours, you have to wake up in the middle of the night and delete it. And that's just ridiculous. So sometimes the advertiser gets a lot more views than they should for what they paid you. And so having that content automatically delete in the future will be something that's really useful. It's not like the biggest deal in the world, but it could be useful to some. So this is all that I have planned right now. I might be adding this, I might be changing this. Like let's say, for example, I might remove a feature just because it's not a viable thing. Maybe like this is probably the most likely. But if anyone has any ideas of features that I could add to this, then leave a comment down below. I'm really curious and interested to see if anyone else can come up with any other ideas. But that is it for this video. Thank you for watching.